Testing, testing. Good afternoon or good evening, viewers around the world tuned in to today's FP stream in PlayStation GL. It's round 13 of 14, so the penultimate round in this calendar. With us today is Big C in the commentary box, and we're just going to get a pre-race interview in from some of the drivers in the league. So we're going to start off with a driver who's regarded as one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, and he's also known as a wet weather specialist, and it's none other than F1 driver Jolianu Manu. Joel, any words ahead of this race? I know you're eyeing that third place in the driver's standings.
Yeah, Renault seems to be lagging a bit of fire around here. So yeah. I'm not confident as I was before. We'll see what happens.
Okay, and do you feel, just quickly, do you feel as if the car selection hasn't worked in your favour as you've been paired with Ugi Azim, who's roughly a lot quicker than you? So is there any critique on that?
Lots of critique. I don't know what Ugi was smoking whenever he decided these cars. But we'll see.
Okay, over to you, Ugi. How do you feel ahead of this race?
I feel like I'm gonna be slow. Even with the Renault, I don't have pace around here.
That's a shame. And Ugi, just some words in Urdu ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ.
ਹਾਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਜੀ.
आपकी रेस के बीच लगा पोडियम मिल सकता है आपको?
यार अगर स्ट्रेटजी चल गई मुझे कुछ लंबा खेलना पड़ेगा, क्या कहते हैं, टायरों के साथ. अगर चल गया सीन तो अल्लाह ला खैर से, वरना तो पीछे ही फंसा रहेंगे, बिकॉज वो ओवरटेक करने वास्ते हॉर्स पावर कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं आएगी.
Okay, well that's a great analogy there from Ugi Azim, the league admin of the USA League, the PSGL FP League rather. Any last words from you two?
Well, I hope it's a nice end to the season with 2 races to go, and really looking forward to the next one. I think we're going to have a really good grid. So, see you guys then.
See you later, Ugi. Thanks for joining us.
Try and put on a bit of a show for you.
Well, do put on a show, Joel, because we definitely need one.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later. Dixie will be back shortly.
Yeah, sorry about that. A few things to sort out before the race, but yeah, even if you use Tony Michael bit, it seems a bit quiet.
Yeah, that's fine. Have people complained about?
Yeah, Lou said you were a bit quiet, so.
Well,
and you seem quiet to me.
That's all right. We'll switch it up 1 second.
No problem.
There's no rush. We've got the pre-race interviews in, and Oogie shared a few words in Urdu.
Excellent. That's
Right,
what
is
we
that
want.
better?
Yeah, and it looks like we're about to get underway. So yeah, that looks great. Sounds great,
Lovely.
should I say? But we'll see what the.
Please let me know how it is.
Agreed. So only 13 drivers today. Obviously, Ashbest leading the way. So yeah, I'm in form man in PSGL at the moment, Aaron.
Yeah, he's winning left, right, and centre. So hopefully we'll see a bit of a shock today. Hopefully it'll go the other way for another driver. But see what happens.
Yeah, we will indeed. So obviously the ultra soft, super soft, and soft. So we've seen, I think, ultra soft to soft around here. Yeah, hello Ashbest, hello Louis, Little, and Lewis as well. So yeah, there's a few dry clips in the throat still. So.
God. Right, I need to change my volume a little bit louder, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think that would be suitable. And nobody in game chat says Ashbest. Just focus on the racing. But yeah, in terms of the championship, Ashbest leads the way on 100 points. AMS on 82. So 18 points off Greeny in third, but Greeny's decided to not race. You know, he was feeling a bit, let's say, down before the race. I don't know what you thought.
I think sometimes the pressure gets too much to certain drivers, and Greeny's one of those drivers, fast but fragile, and he will not be competing today. And you know, I think the pressure of trying to compete for that title it's got to him, sadly. But you know, the show will go on, and you know, it's going to be the AMS and Ashbest show tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that is hopefully is the case. So AMS is 18 points off, so you know he needs a big result.
Yeah, you're right about that. And one thing we haven't spoken about yet is the experienced Jolian Manu. I mean, he's been having some collisions with Robert Sophie, who's dazzled him at the last race. So it'll be interesting to see how those two get on today.
Yeah, certainly seems to be the bigger rival in PSGL at the moment. Jolian Manu and Robert Sophie. So see how it develops.
And I think Joel used all of his experience over the seasons of league racing to kind of brush her off in her attempts to, belittle him. So it was quite interesting to see that dynamic in the steward's office. But Sophie did have a case, but you know, sadly it was rejected.
Yeah, I think Joel races on the limit. So I think the stewards ultimately made a good call on that.
Yeah. And who will we ride on board with in these opening stages?
I think
Ashbest seems the furthest
the
off
championship
the
leader in the Toro Rosso. So not the best car, but I think considering the form he's in, the times he's setting in F1, I think, you know, you just got to keep all eyes on him, learn what you can. You know, he's the informed man in PSG at the moment. No one can stop him.
Yeah, he'll probably go quicker than I can in a Toro Rosso on 2017 car performance. So. That'll be interesting. I mean, that straight can be tricky in the race, especially on the opening lap, Big C. We've seen some drivers who've collided on the opening lap and found themselves in the barriers. So that should be something that we'll be keeping an eye out for later. Yeah,
certainly. I mean, only a smaller grid, but you know, I think FP traditionally has been quite a clean grid. So for what I've seen, especially compared to F1 and F2 and F5, you know, I think FP and F4 are the cleanest grids on the site.
Yeah, some may argue that F1 is arguably one of the worst grids for wheel-to-wheel racing from what goes into the stewards office, and you know, you can't disagree with those people, can you, Big C? They have a fair point, and
yeah, well, I think people are learning, and let's see what happens in the future. We're on board with Ashbest, the informed man at the minute, dominant in F1 around Kota. What can he do in this Toro? So you know, a tricky turn one that goes uphill. Easy to lock up, but you know, he takes that beautifully.
No, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of undulation, Big C, which will put a lot of load through those front tyres, so that'll definitely have an impact for his tyre temperatures through this warm, complex, very fast corner. A lot of bends going around here. I don't know what corner's coming up next, and the Zoom on the left hand side, a bit of distraction, but that Toro Rosso is a really tricky car to get around the corners. It's really understeering, isn't it, Big C?
Yeah, no, the Torosso not an easy car to handle. I think Ash's car control has been fantastic so far. You know, he's not sliding too much. You know, a little bit slide there, but I think it's been a clean lap so far. You just want to get a banker in at this stage of the session.
Yeah, DRS wide open. That Torosso accelerating downhill. Here we go, 195 miles an hour into the heavy braking zone. No lock up there. Beautiful as you like. Clips the apex. He's definitely got the grip there on the braking, hasn't he?
Yeah, beautiful braking and traction from Ash Best. A tricky end to the lap. Lots of traction zones. Important to have a good rear end, but Ash, you know, negotiating it really nicely so far. You know, he's come up to the long right-hander reminiscent of the Istanbul Park's turn 8, easily flat out. And he keeps the foot down beautifully. Probably the toughest corner with no racing line, but he gets it in beautifully. So a solid lap from Ash so far.
It's the lap that you want here at the moment. A good opening lap here. It's 35.0. That isn't bad, is it? Considering the circumstances. Brain 7 tenths behind in the McLaren. Who else is out there?
Oh, AMS. A nice lap on a 34.9. Oh. Chicken has slowed down for some reason. Don't know from that.
Yeah.
I think Robot Sophie, maybe. Who else? No, Frome
Yeah.
in the Williams. What can he do? Run slightly wide in the final corner to the line, and it's only a 35.5. So AMS setting the early place in the Williams.
Yeah, well, a good lap there from AMS. Marginal pole position, so I'll be happy with that. Good lap early on, but there will be other drivers out there looking to improve, especially Mr. Grumpy in the Force India. He's got a good Mercedes powered engine in the back of that thing, and I think he is going for a lap. He's gone wide a little bit from what I can see.
Get on board with the most experienced driver in
Yeah.
PSGL. You know, I think if there's anyone with experience, it's this man. I think the Force India is a solid car, and you know, I think he's got potential to get right up there today.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience, as you've said, Big C. So he's going to have to use all of his experience in this really heavy braking zone, and that is beautiful as you like from Mr. Grumpy. Avoids the apex, knows that he needs to focus on traction, doesn't want to unsettle the car. Look at that, using the karting line, getting all the grip available there as we come into the hard, undulating left-hand turn here, and he understeers again, but using all of his experience to correct it. Here we go. Grumpy here needs a good lap time. Can he improve himself from P6 on the grid, Big C?
Yeah, no, lots of traffic in the final sector, but he negotiates it beautifully. So Mr. Grumpy, the most experienced driver on the grid, turns into it. That's a corner cut, surely. Not using his experience there. And does he improve? Of course he does. It was a corner cut, so disappointing for Mr. Grumpy there.
Yeah, it is disappointing, but you know what? Life will go on. There are other drivers out there who will be going for laps.
I think Robot Sophie is the next one to improve. Sorry to interrupt. Chicken Owns, what a lap! A 34.1 in the Ferrari takes pole position. So the F4 driver on pole in the Ferrari. But what can Robot Sophie do? Joel's arch nemesis in a minute. In the Force India. Oh, and it's P5, so a solid lap.
Solid,
Sophie.
Very solid. And I think not many other people actually out there on flying laps. I don't know if we need to give any coverage to somebody else out there. I would personally like to see us have one full lap on board with Duofin. I think this man, he's been quiet, but he's been picking up points every now and then, and once again selecting the harder tyre compound in qualifying here, Big C.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Juho wants to save those ultra softs for the race. Maybe he's going to do the opposite strategy. We saw Joel go for the opposite strategy. But I mean, if you're in the Mercedes, just put a set of those ultra softs on and just get the fastest time possible. I think Juho, you know, he's been around the block for a long time, and you know, you got to respect what he's doing.
Yeah, and here we go, Duofin, a very experienced, well-respected driver, oversteering out the final corner, nearly losing his bearings, but he's kept them together down this straight. DRS wide open, a little bit late opening it as he was focusing on correcting the oversteer. A huge lock up into turn 1.
Yeah, a shocking lock up from Juho. I mean, I swear he cut the corner on the outlap, so I don't know if this is going to count, but yeah, Juho doesn't have the grip in that Mercedes. You know, the Mercedes is known to be a bit of a boat, but Juho just can't extract the grip from those super soft tyres.
No, he's really correcting his turns, isn't he? Every bite, he needs to have 3 bites through each corner. That Mercedes definitely settings he's got, but it can be tricky here running high ballast, but he's doing well to keep that car together.
He certainly is a little lock up from Duo Finn. Bit of oversteer again. I mean, these super softs aren't the tired to be on in qualifying.
No, they're not, and he is doing a terrific job in the silver arrows. Will there be another lock-up? It's going to be a tricky braking zone for Duo Finn. Oh, he uses his experience as he moves the brake bias to the rear to counteract that. Another complex of corners, another lock-up. Those front tyres aren't going to be great for the race if he qualifies in the top 10 here, Big C.
Yeah, I mean, Dino's yet to set time in P10, so I think Duo will go P10 if this lap counts. But as I said, I swear he corner cut on his outlap, so I'm not sure if this is going to count.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's just an absolute joy watching this man do a lap on board. He was a phenomenal racer, wheel to wheel, one of the fairest drivers, and he battles hard, which is what we all want to see. And here we go.
Oh, P10.
Not
so
bad.
It did count, yeah. You know, he's inside the top 10, but I think he'll be on that P11 spot. Get a fresh set of boots. AMS, is he on a lap?
I think so. I don't know.
I think he's about to start one.
Yeah, might as well stay with him. Don't think anybody else is out there.
I think JP Greenwood could be one to watch. Also on
the go on, stay with. Go on, might as well give him airtime. They don't get much.
Yeah, so we'll stand with JP Greenwood in F5 at the moment. You know, always has a lot to say for himself, but you know, he usually speaks from the heart. So what can JP do in the Mercedes? Can he beat his teammate Duo Finn? I think that's the intra-team rivalry we want to see. Duo versus JP.
Yeah, as the green lollipop helmet shines down into the braking zone, a lot more aggressive than Duo Finn, don't you think? I think he's probably going to have the upper hand on him the way he's driving this lap. He's really attacking those curbs.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think he looks a bit more confident. He can get that front end in. Excuse me. Yeah. Duo was locking up and sliding, but JP just looks more assured around this circuit.
Yeah, you can really see him rugging that car around those corners. Here we go, another corner. It's good. It's good. Can it beat Duo Finn? Here we go, round the final corner. JP Greenwood, can he put the car in the top 10? He does, by 2 tenths.
It's a solid lap, 2 tenths faster, but there's a yellow flag out there. Chicken Holmes, I think, needs to get out of the way, or is it Dino? But we'll keep on board with AMS, currently 4th in the F1 league. Very consistent driver, doesn't make many mistakes, but nice apex there, takes it nicely in the Haas. But what I think he'll be eyeing to improve and stay P2. I think P1's out of reach for AMS, and he improves slightly to a 34.8. So, you know, he want a bit more. Like so Jack, Ash, Robot, Sophie, and Joel all looking to improve.
Yeah, just trying to think here, who is on a lap?
I think Frying Throne was on a lap. So we'll keep on board. I think Jack, Ash and Joel are on out lap, so we'll keep an eye on those. But we'll see what Throne can do in the Williams. The second worst chassis on the grid, but obviously it's got that Mercedes power unit in the back to boost it down those straights.
Yeah, a little slide there, but he controlled it really well, and you can really see the difference, can't you, between the Williams and the Mercedes. Flying Throne looking a lot more confident in this vehicle compared to the other one. So he's doing well here, is Throne. Really tricky. Robot Sophie is out of the session. She thinks 5th is good enough for a Flying Throne. However, here we go to the line.
Oh, P3. That's a good lap from Throne, but there's lots of guys out there. Jack, Ash, Joel. They're all out there. I don't know who we should keep an eye on here. Who's furthest down? Mr. Grumpy looks quite far on his lap.
In P10.
Yeah, a great improvement. But I think Mr. Grumpy is in the final sector of his lap, so we'll keep an eye on board.
Oogie goes front row.
Oh, what a lap. Oogie, a strong lap, 34.5, but I think Mr. Grumpy will be the next one to watch.
Half a second and he'll move himself up to P7.
So yeah, Mr. Grumpy, the most experienced driver on the grid in the Force India, the 4th best car on paper, Mr. Grumpy. P6, a sizable improvement for the old timer. Well, there's so many drivers still out there. AMS 3rd on a 34.5, but Chicken Holmes to a 33.7. So who else is Ash and Joel here? I think Ash and Joel are the ones to watch. I think Ash will be the first.
Yeah, we got to give Ash the airtime, unfortunately. Jack Lacey's also out there. Frome's also out there. Cabrain is going to the line. Don't worry. He goes P4.
P4 for Brain. So look at those times though. 34.8, 34.8, 34.9. But Ash, the championship leader in the Toronto, he'll be eyeing that front row start surely. So Ash Best, the penultimate corner, turns in beautifully, clips the curb. Nice traction out of the corner. through the final corner. The championship leader, the in-form man in PSGL. What can he do? He slides out the final corner. Ash best of the line. P2. What a lap. But
Joel. Here we go. Wet weather specialist. He's a really experienced driver. It's Jolian Manu, one of the most respected on the site. Here we go. Can he put that Renault higher up the grid? No, he can't. That's the worst place to start on Ultra Softs.
Yeah, I mean, a shambles for Jolian Manu. P10. All that experience.
JP, Big C.
JP, oh, he's decided to box. Toto Wolff has called him in. Keep him P12. Get those fresh results. You know, he might have been on to beat Joel, but no, he wants those fresh starters.
Well, they'll have good chance for points, won't they? Considering the numbers of drivers on the grid. But so, Big C, take us down the grid lineup.
Certainly. So it's Chicken O's on pole position in the Ferrari from F4 on a 33.7. The championship leader Ash Best P2 ahead of Ugi Azim in P1. AMS misses out on third by the narrowest of margins, less than a tenth between Bumpy and Robert Sofri, with Joel rounding out the top 10. And as usual, the two Burks and Dino in the other Ferrari will get fresh tyres. Yeah. So I think Dino will be one to watch on those fresh tyres, and obviously the two Mercedes.
Yeah, Big C. And I'm just wondering about your thoughts about the two Mercedes drivers qualifying on the harder compound. What are your thoughts about that? There's a 1.9 second difference from 11th to 10th. Do you feel as if they could have got much closer on those Ultra Softs?
Well, it's, you know, I think with the Ultra Softs you get a couple of runs, or you get a sighter and then one at the end. So it would have been nice to see, you know, what can they do on those Ultra Softs. But you've got to respect that they want to use them in the race. You know, they want to save those Ultra Softs for the race. So you've got to respect their decisions and, you know, their experienced drivers. So we can't question.
But having said that, the Ultra Softs aren't really a good race tyre. So should they have burnt it up and saved the Reds for the race?
Well, I think hopefully our questions will be answered.
Yeah.
But that is the qualifying result. I've already gone through it, so I'm not going through it again.
Yeah, and there's no point, otherwise we're just going to be running out of breath as the timer counts down.
Indeed.
So the Force Indias, 8th and 9th, you would have thought they would have been a little bit higher.
I am surprised. The Force India is clearly the fourth fastest car. So I'm surprised, you know, they're that far down. But I think, you know, the race is another matter. The Force India is always better in race conditions, in real life and on the game. So, you know, we'll see how it all unfolds.
Yeah. And what are you hoping from the start of the race, Big C?
I think, you know, we always want a nice clean start to, you know, portray PSGL in a good light. But I think if Ash Best drops down a bit, make the race a bit more interesting. Get AMS up there and yeah, see how it goes.
I slightly disagree with you. I think I'd like to see a few drivers crash out on the opening lap and a bit of carbon fibre everywhere. But we'll see what happens in 15 seconds time. Because just to describe, how do drivers feel just at this moment when the race start time is kicking down here?
Well, there's always a bit of nerves, but you're just focusing, you know, getting the reactions ready, hands on the wheel, getting the feet ready, all the fingers ready, just ready for lights out. So we have 5 lights at the start of the United States Grand Prix, round 30 of the FP season. Chicane's on pole, and we're away at Kota, so a good start from the Ferrari.
Yeah, it's a good start from the Ferrari. The Renault's got away well. There's no late breakers. There's a Mercedes in the background going down the inside of a few drivers. Joel getting punted. I think at the back there, Joe Finn or JP losing a bit of the wing. Joe Finn making a good start.
But Ash Best leads the Grand Prix, so I interrupt hearing Ash Best leads. And Chicane's and Ugi Azim, so a great start from Ash.
Just back down on the grid order, Joel has regained the place from Joe Finn, and Dano has passed as well.
It's all going on.
Joel and Robot Sophie having a tussle.
Alright, but yeah, all those yellow flags. Oh, there's all sorts going on. Who's that?
AMS
Problems.
contender.
Problems.
Oh, and JP having a piece of the action. I think Joe Finn's gonna have a go here, Big C.
Yeah, I'm trying, but there's a bit of lag with Dino.
Oh, Joe into the back of AMS, his wings off.
But JP's got the has. JP and AMS side by side into the final sector. Oh, what a move. AMS, what a move.
Great move there.
But anyway, we need to move back up to the front. Ash Best leads the Grand Prix 4/10 of a second ahead of the Ferrari of Chicken Homes. So Ash Best showing why he's the informed man at the minute in PSGL.
Yeah, a few drivers picking up a knock on the first lap. I think Throne's picked up a knock. JP and Duro definitely, I think, have picked up knocks. I don't know whether AMS has. AMS has kept the engine going, so we are going to see some drivers in the pits here. Duro heading straight for the pits, as is Flying Throne at the back of the grid. But Robot Sophie is now putting pressure on her teammate here, Mr. Grumpy.
Yeah, on board with Robot Sophie, can't get quite close enough. But look at the positions. Look at Joel, up 4 positions, got Lacey up 3.
Unbelievable.
AMS down 6, Throne down 6.
That's unbelievable. I just don't know how that has happened.
Oh!
Throne's
Problems
out.
for Throne. And he's out in the pit lane. Claire Williams has opted to retire the car. Aaron, what do you make of that?
Well, I think some drivers throwing the white flag, as Dido would say, and Flying Throne is definitely one of them. But we do have some action going on here. The brain on Jack, but I feel Robot Sophie on Grumpy could be a little bit more entertaining.
There's more yellow flags. Is that the Williams?
The yellows.
Who?
It must be the Williams.
Who's close?
Robot Sophie, here we go on
Robot
Mr. Grumpy.
Sophie,
Can she outbrake him? Oh, not quite there. Mr. Grumpy using all of his experience, keeping that door wide open and shutting it at the last second, like the grumpy man he is.
Indeed, so Robot Sophie, you know, very aggressive driver I've seen in Mexico, but still behind Mr. Grumpy. But Ash Best still leads the way on lap 2 of 28, 4 cents second out of Chicken Owns. So Ash Best, but that Ferrari is a fast car.
Gone wide. Grumpy's gone wide, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Grumpy still
Robot
maintains the
Sophie.
position. Oh, the Ferraris. Oh, DRS is enabled here, and DRS is enabled.
Here we go. Robot Sophie
Oh,
knows she's
Mr.
got to
Grumpy
do
wide
it here.
again.
Oh, it's like he's driving a tractor out there. He's the most experienced driver on the grid. Robot Sophie showing him how it's done. Here we go down the inside. Grumpy again saying, I don't want to give that one up, but he has to. And the Ferrari behind. Dano, would he have a look as well? He's got far more grip on those fresh tyres.
Yeah, so Dano looking quite strong. What tyres are he on? Let's get the telemetry up. Get the data. He's on the Ultra Softs. So yeah, everyone on Ultra Softs at the moment.
Yeah, Big Z chicken on Ash, I feel could be an interesting battle down the straights. There will be a difference in horsepower here.
Yeah, certainly. So the Ferrari power against Renault power. I think DRS is enabled, but the gap's so intense here, so maybe Ash is running a bit lower wings to compensate for lack of downforce.
Yeah, well, he's doing it well, that's all I can say, but it's a good start to the race, I think.
Yeah, certainly. I think, you know, Chicken Homes is looking strong. So we'll see how it all plays out. But with Dano up to this past Mr. Grumpy. We need to go on board with them. So what's happened? So Dino passed Mr. Grumpy.
I don't think he enjoyed that one bit of Mr. Grumpy. He doesn't like to give up a position, and he wouldn't have wanted to give it up in that manner. But he will know that the race is longer than 3 laps, so he'll be looking to play the long game, and he'll be hoping to make inroads when he moves on to those yellow tyre compounds.
Yeah, certainly. So Ash Best still leads the way from Chicken Owns on lap 4 of 28. 6 cents is the gap, but Chicken Owns still in DRS of Ash Best.
Yeah, Big C, Jack, Brain and Joel are going to be forming a little scrap here for P4, so there's something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, Joel, you know, after a bad quali, you know, he's used all of that experience, all of that know-how in the race, and that the race is where it matters. Forget about quali; it's all about putting it together in the race. But Jack, 3-second penalty on lap 4, Aaron.
Well, he did pick up a lot of penalties in the F1 league, so it's no surprise to see him do that here again today. But it's always a shame when drivers pick up corner cutting penalties. They're just ill-disciplined, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's not hard to stop cutting corners. It's not a hard track for corner cutting. I got no penalties in both seasons of this race in F1, so I don't quite get it. But everyone is different, I guess.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brain, there's absolutely no straight line speed in that McLaren Honda. He's just going to have to sit behind Jack throughout most of this race. He's probably going to have to wait until the pit stops to get a move done, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously, you know, the undercut's massive around here. If you go for the softs, I think the softs will be the preferred tyre, but certainly looks the faster of the two at the minute. The McLaren Honda obviously got a great chassis, great downforce package, so he needs to make the most of that undercut.
Yeah, I don't know what else is going on around the grid, but I know Dano's going to be closing in the back of Sophie here. He's got a lot more grip. He's already passed 1-4, and yeah, now he's licking his lips to get one up on Robot Sophie here.
Yeah, so a bit wide from Dino, but keeps it together just about.
Yeah, he's a very scratchy driver, isn't he, at the moment? But not doing too badly for the start of this race.
No, you got to respect what Dino's doing. He's in the Ferrari, so I think, you know, there's many more positions he can gain, assuming he can continue to make progress in the Ferrari. But I mean, Chicken Ohms is only 3/10 off Ash.
Yes, it's getting close here. It's all heating up here. Ash Best using all that tyre grip to his advantage, but Chicken doing ever so well to stick with him in the dirty air. I think there will be some action here, but with flying foam out of the session, the slipstream glitch has been activated.
Yes, but I don't know if someone's left the lobby.
No, he might not have, but here we go. Can Chicken get a run on Ash here? Ash looking to go defensive. Will he use his better judgment? I would stay defensive here. You never know what a flying Ferrari can do. They might just slap it down the inside. No, he doesn't.
So yeah, sorry, I was just sorting out a few issues with the stream, but
Dano and Robot Sophie. Robot Sophie leaves the space, and here we go. This is going to get feisty here. Robot Sophie, a very feisty driver, doesn't want to give up her position here. And Dano here being made to pay. Here we go, down the inside. Oh, backs out of it.
Nearly from Dino, but you know, he's looking really fast in that Ferrari. But it is to be expected. But Chicken Ohms is now only 3/10, still 3/10 behind. But he can't make a move on Ash Best.
Well, he's got to try something down here into turn one maybe. He's going to be close here, and there's a lot of margin here to play with. I'll try it.
There's cars in the pits here, and there's cars in the pits.
I think they're going to have to do 2 stops. They just don't have enough in the locker to do the 1 stop. So, interesting move from Joel there, but he's only going to find himself behind Brain, isn't he? He's got yeah, there's a slow pit stop there.
3-second penalty for Chicken Ohms, but super softs for Brain. But I'm not sure what Joel's going for. It still says ultra softs.
Ultra.
A bold strategy choice from Giuliano Manu.
Yeah, we're going to have action all around the field. Is it going to be Chicken versus Ash? But I feel like Dano and Sophie here, they look the closest. This looks like something could happen down this straight here.
I'm going to keep on board with Chicken Ohms just in case he can get close enough, but keep an eye on those two and I'll move over if it does get close.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Chicken Ohms still in DRS. Can he make a move down the inside? Has a dummy, but nah, can't make the move.
It's getting close. It's getting close. Dano here on Robot Sophie. Sophie doesn't go defensive, stays to the inside, stays to the outside rather, but she looks better on the brakes. She's looking to hang it around the outside, and Dano's showing a lot of respect now. I would have run her off road. Yeah, a lot of respect from both drivers, I thought, actually. Very clean and fair, but I think Dano needs to get the move done quickly. He looks much faster on those fresher ultra soft tyres than he does. I think that's a nice move. What about Sophie? No,
beat up and under.
Yeah, she's going to have to hold the grip out there, but I don't think the Force India's got that grip in it. Mr. Grumpy, he will be crying out for some DRS because AMS is flying behind him. Oh, he's gone wide, AMS. Can he get a move here? Grumpy, he's not going defensive, AMS. Oh, no surprise him trying to send it down the inside there, but thinks better of it. So, yeah, Brain's got ahead of JP Green. Yeah, what about Robot Sophie? I thought she was going to go down the inside of Dano there, having another go. It's either going to be Chicken or Ash or AMS and Grumpy the next on-track battle. It's really heating up. Jack Lacey's out the pit lane. Oh! Oh! JP and Jack nearly collided. Oh! JP Greenwood just about gets out of the way, but yeah, a very close call there. JP. Oh! He's gone wide. Joel making a move around the outside. What using a move! All of his experience. What an overtake! That has got to be one of the overtakes of the season, Big C. Certainly, JP didn't know what was coming. But anyway, Chicken Ohms is back down to 0.8 per second. AMS, Big C, AMS is getting some power on the back of Grumpy, but Grumpy very quick on a straight line. Surely Grumpy's going to have to consider a pit stop soon. He's going defensive, really wants to protect that P6 at the moment. Yeah, so Grumpy will be going for the 1 stop, so he needs to maintain track position over AMS. Will surely go for 1 stop as well. Yeah, lots of action going on. Yeah, it's really tightening up here as we go around these slow undulating corners. Grumpy doing a fantastic job in the Force India to keep it together. He's running low on grip, but that Haas cannot pounce on him yet.
So, I mean, I'm just watching Chicken Owens' car and look at the rear tyres, the oscillation of the tyres, look, the undulation of the fact and the oscillation of the tyres, it's fascinating. Great work from Codemasters, you can see the detail on the tyre, but Grumpy and AMS are in the pit lane, so I mean, it's still fairly early for a one stop in my opinion.
It is, but I think maybe they're looking to make 2 stops, so they know they can't make the tyres last, and Grumpy having to make the pit stop. AMS is on the yellow tyres, so that'll be quite interesting. And JP Greenwood, Big C, we've got to keep an eye out.
No, Chicken Owens here, Chicken Owens is 2 tenths behind.
God, what's happening?
He's 2 tenths behind. Ash Best goes defensive. So this is looking great for Chicken Owens at the moment. He's surely got to make a move on Ash Best now. Look at the exit here and DRS open.
Go for it, Big C, take it
so
away.
DRS open, Chicken Owens for the lead of the United States Grand Prix. In front of points, Ash Best goes defensive into the braking zone, but can Chicken Owens get the move done on board with the youngster in F4? Around the outside, Ash Best defends beautifully, and you know all about good defending, and that is as good as it gets.
Yeah, it was great. If I was Ash, I would have gone a little bit more deeper, trying to chip a wing off of Chicken Owens there, but very fair and respectful there. So good driving from Ash there, using his brakes the maximum he could through that corner. It was just brilliant, wasn't it? And
Yep.
I don't know if Chickens has picked up damage because he's struggling now. And that's allowing Oogie to close in.
Yeah, I think Oogie's gone about his business very quietly, you know, he's in the mix. But yeah, Chicken Owens is in. Chicken Owens will surely pick for a set of soft compound tyres.
Big C, AMS and Grumpy, we've got to go on board with this. This is really heating up. Grumpy doesn't want to give this position up.
Side by side action. This is what's great about this track. Lots of different lines. The karting line, the racing line, all offline, all sorts of lines.
No.
Chicken Owens on the softs is in.
He might come out behind Brain here. I don't know how it's going to... No, I think he'll be fine. When he's down to turn 1, yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh,
just
look at that from Joel. A 38.5 in the Renault. The fastest lap from Joel there.
No, it's a great
Jack
lap
Lacey
time,
is ahead of Brain. Side by side action.
Here we go. Brain trying to defend. Jack will not want to give this up. He has to give it up and wait for the straight here. But Brain will have a lot more grip through this complex of corners there. But he may be toast down straight. I don't know what's going to happen, but great driving.
Yeah, I think there's been fantastic driving from Brain, who will be joining F1 next season. Obviously, Jack, the former F1 champion from season 17. So, both using the skill they've got in their lockers. But yeah, Ash Best, 2 seconds clear of Oogie, both yet to pit. But Dino as well, it's not too far behind.
Yeah, Jack here, is he going to get a run on Brain? Brain surely he's going to go defensive. I'll go defensive. I'll see what happens, because that Torossa's going to bottom out down the straight, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think he had a chance, did he, to defend that? But
nope. Like a rocket.
No intention. Yeah.
Impossible to defend.
Good move there from Jack.
But I think Joel, look at Joel though. Joel's now within DRS range on those ultra softs, so it'll be also interesting to see what Joel does in the Renault.
No, Joel is a very experienced, wise head, and he will know that he can overtake that McLaren Honda all day long.
Definitely, Renault power against Honda power, but Joel did run wise slightly. He needs to watch those corner cutting penalties, and there we go! Corner cutting penalty for Giuliano Manu. He's obviously making the most of that grip.
Well, for all his experience, that's one thing he hasn't been able to weed out of his racing career. Corner cutting penalties, but he definitely used all of his experience to cut that corner, as some may say. Not much is happening at the moment. We're all waiting for the pit stops, but Ash and Oogie really edging those tyres out for the softs to make that one stop. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Chicken did pit quite early, so it's got a long way to go on those tyres.
Certainly, I mean Dino's catching the top 2 as well, so it'll be interesting if Dino can get the mix. But surely Oogie will go super softs, because you know his tyre wear is arguably the best on the site. So I think Oogie might go super softs. But soft is certainly the safe option.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at drivers on the grid at the moment. I know Grumpy's picking up a few warnings, which is a shame, but that's to be expected, isn't it, with an understeery car?
Yeah, sadly a shame for Mr. Grumpy, but you know, where is he running? He's running P9 with another stop to make, so the tail end of the points for Grumpy this race, I think.
Yeah, and while we wait for any battles happening on track, are there any questions our viewers have got?
So we'll see if there's any
just
questions.
hashtag ask Big C, hashtag ask Iran, whoever you want to ask a question to.
So Ashbest is in, the race leader is in the pitch. So what's he going to go for? We'll ride on board. We'll go back and forward with Ohms, Chicken Ohms, to see where he comes out and all this. But Oogie stays out, so he's definitely going for Super Softs. Ashbest's in. Set of softs, can they try some mechanics, get them on? They can, as Assassin's left the race from Chicken Ohms, who's miles
Will he come
clear.
out behind Jack here? I feel like it's going to be really tight here with Jack Lacey. He's going to come out. Oh, this is not where you want to cut. Will the experienced Jolien and Manny? Oh, there's going to be a collision. No.
Very tight there. Ash gets it right, but that could have ended in tears, like Lickle and Oogie Azim in F1. So Ash has sacrificed track position quite considerably there.
Yeah, it's going to cost him a lot of time, isn't it, if he wants to battle for the race win? But he's doing a fine job where he is on that in that Toro Rosso compared to his championship competitor AMS.
So I see AMS currently running down in P10, and will be going for a long stint on those stops. He hit like lap 7 or lap 8, so AMS will be going on a long stint on those tyres.
Yeah. Stuck behind Grumpy, but Ashbest will definitely be looking to make a move on Brain, who looks defenceless in that Honda. He might even go for a dive down the inside here. Ashbest, a very erratic driver sometimes. I wouldn't have been as generous as Brain. I would have said, if you want to dive down my inside like that, I'll make sure you lose your wing. And Brain definitely a little bit more nicer there, isn't he, Big C?
Yeah, certainly not clean driving from Brain. Could have been nasty, but no. But Chicken Owns on Robot Sophie into the penultimate corner. Isn't quite close enough, so surely Robot Sophie will be making a stop this lap. No, she stays out.
No, she definitely isn't dazzled by Chicken Owns at the moment, is she?
No, Oogie Azim's in, so Oogie could be behind Joel in all this. Oh, Chicken Owns down the inside of Robot Sophie. It's an easy move. Cuts the corner nicely. Overtake. On the limit,
yeah.
On the limit. But Oogie's
come out behind.
On the super soft tyres.
Ash is going to make a move on Brain, I feel, this lap.
2 penalties for Chicken Owns though. 2 penalties for Chicken Owns. The race lead is not lost for Ash Best just yet. As Ash cuts the corner. Bit of, in that dirty air, his torso is understeering all over the place.
Yeah, well, I don't think Brain's going to have an answer down this straight. I think Ash just needs to just keep it calm and cool and just don't make any erratic, silly overtakes. Just make a normal overtake. Here we go now. He's closing up right to the back of Brain here. He's defenceless, isn't he? Has he got the DRS from Jack in front? Is really... Oh, it's no, he hasn't. Definitely hasn't. No point in defending that. I think Jack will defend it a bit harder, won't he, in that? Because he's got the same engine. But... yeah, nothing Brain can do about that.
An easy move, simple. Taking candy from a baby. So we move on to what Chicken Owns is now 1.2 seconds behind Dino. Dino surely is going to put this lap for a set of super soft tyres.
Yeah,
just get in,
I don't think he started on the right tyres. He should have started on reds. I don't know.
His tyres look knackered to me. You can see, you know, the graining on those front tyres, but the grip's just not there. Surely he's got a pit. Unless it's a tyre glitch and he's not on the Ultra Softs. If he's going this long, then I'm not sure what he's playing at.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's 2 types of drivers in league racing. Ones who've got the strategic brain and know what they're doing, and others who just stay out for the sake of it. And here we go, he gives up that position, loses a lot of time, and that is definitely impacting his own race here, isn't it, Big C?
Yeah, I have no idea why he's staying out, getting this for a set of softs. You know, he could have been in the mix with some good points, a top 6, but look, there's just no grip. Excuse me, he's going to get a puncture at this rate.
No, it would be well deserved, and I'll be happy to see it happen. Brain picking up a penalty. I don't know what else is going on, Big C.
AMS is still within the ice range of Grumpy and Brain on Ash, but I think not really any battles going on at the minute. It's quite, the race is settled down. But yeah, Duo running in P11. Look at the Mercedes. Making the most of their special oversights. Well,
it's a very unique strategy here for both Mercedes drivers. They're hoping for a dropout in the top 10 to pick up a point, but I think there would have been better place to use a one-stop strategy starting outside the top 10, but so their strategy hasn't worked this race, and it hasn't worked for the past few races, Big C.
Maybe it's time to get back to the drawing board and assess their strategic options for next season. The FB grid is getting stronger, so maybe they need to have a look at their options and hopefully put something together next season.
Yeah, and were there any questions in the chat?
No.
No. How many viewers?
4.
That's all right. Oogie Azim now.
The stream was having a little bit of lag,
Joel.
so I don't know if that's affecting
That's all right.
things.
The more lag, the better. Joel Pitts. That's a shame.
Look at Joel though. Look how late he breaks into the pits. You know, he got it spot on. Dino's in here, and Dino's finally decided to call it a day, and he's in.
Yeah, well, he would have lost a lot of time now, and he's gone on to the Reds. I think that's going to be very marginal to get to the end of the race, so very interesting strategy decision there. I mean, you do 13 laps on a set of Ultras, and you expect to do about 15 on a set of Reds, so I don't know what he's expecting, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. He's lost a place to Robot Sophie and all that, so strategically it's been a disaster.
It certainly has, but Ashbest has moved within the DRS range of Jack Lacey for P2.
Yeah, Big C. I think Jack's going to fight for this, isn't he? He might as well. He wants to have a bit of fun, doesn't he, out there? Or is he thinking more in the sense that he's got a penalty, he's got to just, you know, not battle it too hard and just run his own race, because Ash hasn't got to make another stop again. Here we go. No, he thinks better of it.
Yeah, I mean, Ash did the right thing. A faint, bit of a scare, but I think Jack, you know, he's experienced and wise enough to know. So yeah, Chickenhomes 6.1 clear. Remember, Chickenhomes does have two time penalties, so yeah, Ashbest can still win this Grand Prix.
Yeah, he can do. I know that Mr. Grumpy has absolutely wrecked AMS's race here today, using all of his experience to definitely sit in there on those red tyres. So Grumpy will have another stop to make. He might be in very soon.
So another penalty, and that's for AMS. That's a surprise. AMS usually never gets penalty, but I think Ashbest will be the one to watch. Where is he? Ashbest, 3/10 off still, so just can't get quite close enough.
Yeah, and Ash knows if he can make this move stick, he can definitely go on and challenge for the race win, especially with Chicken's penalties. But Jack, not making it easy for him here today.
Certainly not, but you know, Ashbest doesn't need to worry. He just needs to get the moves on quickly, and he knows, you'll know that Chickenhomes has got 2 time penalties. He watches the stream usually, so...
Wow. If you're watching the stream, Ash, weave down the next straight. Just weave. But... here we go. Can he make a move on Jack Lacey? Closer than ever here. Within half a second, will he get that Toro Rosso engine powered up here?
So can the Renault-powered Toro Rosso down the inside?
Ooh.
Ashbest on Jack Lacey. Can he make the move on? Jack Lacey holds the outside line in 10th position, so good defending from Jack. Given there's all sorts going on behind. I don't know what's happened, but look at all those actions changing.
Oogie Brain, AMS making a move on Grumpy finally. That was a long time coming, but Oogie's made a pass on Brain. Dano's making a pass on Sophie. There's everything's happening, but unfortunately all on the same lap, which is a shame. Oh, Big C! Grumpy on AMS! Grumpy on AMS!
Missed it. On board,
Just go on board, they go side by side. This is incredible racing.
There was 3 or 4 moves going on at the same time. You know, it's impossible to keep on board with all of them. But he cuts the corner and does the force india. So Grumpy not using all his experience.
I think he's looking for some. Jack's in the pits. He doesn't care about the penalty. I feel like he's going to go for something down to turn 1. He's got a lot more power in that engine. Here we go. Mr. Grumpy, the most experienced driver in the grid. Can he make a name for himself down to turn 1? He knows that the cameras would be on him, as they always are. But no, he thinks better of it there.
So Jack Lacey comes out in P9. Excuse me.
Dreadful.
Not good. Joel though. I don't know what Joel's strategy is. What's happened to him? You know, he's a distant P10.
Well, it's, you know, sometimes things don't work out, and you know, this is just one of those days.
It certainly is for Jolion and Manu, and the corner cut for Mr. Grumpy there. Maybe he knows where to corner cut round it. Sometimes you do get away with it.
No, this is a man who has used every trick in the book to win titles in the past, and he will know that AMS is there for the taking. He shouldn't have stayed in the curb that long. What was he thinking? Here we go. Mr. Grumpy usually has a pre-race drink, He might have had a couple tonight. Will he go for a move on AMS? He knows. Oh, he can't do it there. He's a brave one. I think Grumpy will look to chuck it down the inside around this complex. Oh, no, I don't think he can.
No, he just doesn't seem to have the grip
He's got a bit.
that AMS does have. Yeah, AMS obviously on the durable compound. And even a question from Fragglepole. How many front wings have you taken off in your career?
Well, Fraggle, I like to take off as many wings as I possibly can. I think I took one off last night off Maxi Luca after he took off my wheel, but I have taken off a few, and you know, I've lost quite a few as well. But you know, that's all part and parcel of racing, isn't it, Big C? You don't take off wings deliberately; they just happen in contact.
Yeah, unfortunately, contact happens in racing, especially in PSGL nowadays. A lot of contact, especially in that F1 league, as you seem to know, and being involved in on a regular basis nowadays.
Yeah, well, when drivers like to send it down the inside at every corner from 2 seconds back, you know, there's not much you can do. And I think the younger generation of drivers coming through these days haven't got the patience of drivers like Mr. Grumpy, like Jolyon Emanu or Joe Finn, some of the most experienced drivers around on the grid. Big C.
Yeah, I certainly agree. As the Mercedes have both stopped for tyres in. Both Mercedes are in. So
well, I think one of them's going to lose a lot of time queuing, so yeah, the tyres weren't ready for JP Greenwood there on time, so they would have lost a couple of seconds there. So a very unique strategies there. Joe's come back out on the Ultras and JP's gone for the red, so interesting strategic decision. It's as I've said, it's been a disaster.
A disaster for the Mercedes duo, who won't be scoring points unless there's some issues ahead of them. As Game Freak has got into
sugarcoat it.
We cannot. Game Freak, are you, Aaron? Game Freak asks, are you afraid of him? On
afraid
track.
Of who?
Game Freaker.
I'm not really afraid of Game Freak. I quite like racing Game Freaker because I know when I race Game Freak I'm going to get a good wheel-to-wheel battle with him, and I look forward to racing him next season if he is in the same league as me, because I think he is an absolute asset to the PSGL league, and I think without him on the grid in F1, a lot of wheel-to-wheel battling, clean wheel-to-wheel battling was missing from that lower end of the midfield. So I'm not scared of him. I enjoy him.
Nice words for Game Freak.
Oh, Grumpy! Grumpy's off! Oh my god! Mr. Grumpy's just gone flying off the track. He's had enough. He's cut far too many corners. Oh no! Oh dear me, Big C.
A disgruntled Bob Fernley on the pit wall, VJ Malia as well. So disaster for Force India.
Oh, what has happened to Mr. Grumpy? What an absolute disastrous incident for Mr. Grumpy. He will be absolutely kicking himself. I wonder if we can get an interview from Mr. Grumpy.
If you want to get him in, we can. But obviously there's a lot of action going on as well here, so you know we'll try and fit it in. But
yeah, that's fine.
If we can get a quick word from him, then I don't mind. As Throne quickly asks, who's going to win the F1 title? Well, I think Ash. He's in the form of his life. I think Suzuka will suit him, so I think Ash. You know, he looks unstoppable. And yeah, I prefer Ash to win it, personally. So, yeah. Oogie, oh my days, we've just missed Oogie Azim get ahead of Ash Best for P2 and all of that. All that talk of interviewing Mr. Grumpy, but we've missed an overtake from Oogie Azim. Ash Best down the side of Oogie Azim. It's no one. Oh,
it's like
what a move! What a move from Ash Best.
That's a good move, very aggressive. I would not have given him the inside if I was Oogie. I would be ashamed to be Oogie Azim right now, because I would be defending that inside like a tiger would be protecting their cubs in the jungle. Here we go. Ash Best flying away now. Oogie Azim had
contact between Joel and CC Brain, but they get away with it. Just about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and there's lots of stuff going on. Oogie and Ash, so Dino and AMS, Jack and Robot Sophie, Brain and CC Brain. Well, so it's all going on.
The fight for second seems a lot more intense at the moment. We don't give Joel too much airtime, unfortunately, but can Oogie Azim do something else here on Ash Best? He's on much fresher tyres. No, he can't. Ash Best defending the inside there very vigorously, and Oogie Azim will be looking to give him a piece of his mind, won't he, here?
Certainly, I think there's going to be more action going on. Jack Lacey, can he make a move over? So if he goes defensive, Jack Lacey on the outside. Can he go around that side? Jack Lacey, the season 17 F1 champion. I mean, that is just beautiful. But Sophie's defending very poor, very weak from Sophie there, I thought, Aaron.
Yeah, she should have run him out wide a little bit more, but fair play. You've got to have respect for Woodville Racing. What's happening?
She nearly hit him. I thought it was a close one, but his brain ahead of Joel yet. The Honda just has no power, so he can't get past Joel.
Yeah, terrific defending from Joel here. He's really struggling on that in that car. I don't know if he's picked up front wing damage because he's understeering.
Yeah, maybe, but Dino in direct range of Haas. Aaron, no.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
No, he stays behind, so Dino stays in P5 there. It's fine. Jack Lacey's out. Oh, there's been problems. What happened? Is it Jack Lacey?
I think disconnection.
Oh, he's out. Jack Lacey is out of the Grand Prix.
Brain. Oh, there's too much going on here.
On board with Brain, right behind the Renault in the tricky middle sector. I mean, there's so many battles going on, it's hard to keep up with them all.
Yeah, and all we need is Mr. Grumpy to join the chat for an interview. But
I don't think we need it.
Take our mind off him. It doesn't matter. It's like our race start. We focused on Jothin at the start, but here we go. Brain here.
Dino, I think.
Sorry, Oogie.
Oh, Oogie.
No.
Oh, we can't get close enough. There's good evening to the game with Ali Mondot, the voice of PSGL. But yeah, on board with Dano. Can he go around the outside of AMS? Can he make a move? Card number 10. AMS breaks late, but Dino has the better grip.
I'll go for it. I'll slap it down the inside. Go on, son. No, go on. Do the move. That's fine. Come on, get him. Oh no. AMS locks up. Come on, take it and run. Well deserved overtake.
What is AMS doing?
Dreadful, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Disastrous. Who else is out there? Brain and Joel really enjoying themselves at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly, I think. But there's so many battles going on during the race. But I think we've got to give a word to the Mercedes duo. With that, we've talked about their strategy, and it's worked. P9 and P10 for the Mercedes duo.
Yeah, but they're like about half a race distance off the next car, so they could have been a lot closer had they opted for a one-stop strategy.
Yeah, but the Mercedes has renown to be tough in dirty air. Maybe they want for the clean air.
Yeah, no, big
CC Brain and Joel. Oh, side by side in the S section. Can he get the move done? Joel will not be overtaken in this part of the track, surely.
No, he refuses to give in. Brain can literally reach out and grab him as we're joined by recent retiree Mr. Grumpy. Despite the fact we've got a battle going on, we want to get a word with you now. It doesn't matter what happens in the race. Grumpy, a terrific defensive performance throughout that race against your fellow competitor AMS, but how do you feel after DNFing? That was a massive off. Hope you didn't break any limbs.
Yeah, tough race actually. All race I was struggling with lack of engine sound. I couldn't hear my engine, so so I gave up in the end, really, to be honest.
Oh, that's horrific. Was that a little bit in frustration? You just felt, oh, I've got another corner cut warning. I've had enough. Let's slap it in the wall.
Yeah. I couldn't hear anything, so that's why I was cutting so many corners.
Yeah, well, I would be doing the same. I wouldn't be able to live without engine sound, but I think you did a terrific job regardless of the outcome of that race, and you used your experience to your advantage. Big C, do you have any question for one of the most experienced drivers on the PSGL site?
No, I don't, because I think the battle for P2 is heating up between Oogie and Ash Besser. There's a lot, and CC Rain and Joel, you know, it's all going on at the minute.
Yeah, that's fine. One more question for Mr. Grumpy, obviously.
Joel goes wide in the S section. CC Brain nearly damaged his wing. Thank you, Dale, as always. A pleasure.
Take it easy, mate. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers.
Oh, CC Brain with a
CC
time penalty. Yeah. Thank you. Can CC Brain has no power in the McLaren Honda. Can he make the move on a man who runs slightly wide here?
No, he can't. He can't. Do you want to take us through this, Dale?
No, he can't.
Here we go. Brain on Joel here. Can he get close enough to the back of him? Joel will go defensive. He's got to defend the inside. He can't leave that open. No, using his experience. Lovely.
Oh,
shut the door. Shut the door. Get it back.
Bravo. What a move from CC Payne there. And I mean,
it's great, but you know, you make moves with contact, unfortunately, on this game, and Joel will not like that one bit, will he?
Certainly not, but I think Joel left his legs wide open.
Yeah, I think he could have used a bit more experience and
too much experience, one could think.
Yeah, but the problem is, Big C, he's got a 38-second gap to do. I would be defending that position like my life depended on it, but no.
So yeah, I mean, we've had a few questions, but I mean, we can't get them in because there's all this battling. As Oogie's made a mistake. He's made a mistake.
Get one in. Come on, slap one in.
Is Ash the next GOAT of PSGL, says Game Freaker?
Well, Big C, I think he's got a lot of years in him, and if he wins the PSGL F1 title, I think it would only go from strength to strength.
Yeah, I think I agree. I thought Ali K could have been the next one. I thought it could have been Gamer, but maybe it's Ash Best will be the next one, the chosen one in F1. Maybe he can win a title like Ali and Gamer in F1.
Yeah, and also to add to this, unlike Oogie and Nick Pine as well. Oogie should definitely have been a bit more aggressive with Ash, considering how aggressive Ash has been in overtaking him. So, but Ash will know not to leave his legs wide open, as he would have heard the battles with Joel. He will have to defend this position like his life depends on it. Give us commentators a battle that we will never forget. Chicken owns.
That's number 3, so 9 seconds of penalties. I think he can afford another penalty due to the pace he's got at the moment, Aaron. He did pit early, but I mean, the pace was fantastic from the F4 bar.
Yeah. It all depends on what Ash Best is prepared to do here. Does he leave that door wide open for Oogie to attack, or would he think, you know what, I can actually win this race here. I can win this. No, he goes defensive. Look at him. Doesn't want to leave anything wide open. Ash Best, look at that. Very protective, conservative driving. What I love to see.
Oogie looks to be the quicker man at the minute on those super soft tyres, renowned for his great tyre wear, but you can't overtake in this sector. He needs to overtake on the DRS straight, but Ash Best, I think, is one of the best on the brakes in the league at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, watching Oogie on board just makes me cringe. The amount of corrections he's got to do. His car's like sliding out of every corner. I don't know whether that's anything to do with connection, just his unique driving style, but it is quite disgusting to watch.
Fair enough, as we have a little review. So 12 seconds off here is Ash Best with Oogie in 3rd. So I think the only battle really is these two, Ash versus Oogie for P2 and P3.
Yeah, this one's going to go down to the wire, Big C. Any more questions in the chat?
Oh, if you've got any questions for Aaron or myself, get them in. It's not often we stream, and it won't be often in the future. Oh, one from Game Freaker. Ask Aaron, how do you want to finish your F1 season? Which position are you looking at in Suzuka?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'd just like to get to the checkered flag, whether that's in last place or not. I mean, DNFing can be heartbreaking, so I'd like to get to the end of that race. But if I don't get to the end of the race, I'd like to end it having an effect in the championship. As we see Oogie oversteering out of that corner, that might just be it for now, but he'll have a chance to close up.
So, I mean, everyone else looks quite spaced out. Joel's been blocked by Brain. Dino is in a world of his own in 4th, same with AMS and Sophie. So, and obviously the Mercedes duo miles apart. So, yeah, I think the battle for P2 and P3 is the one to watch. But yeah, Chicken Owns, as outlined by Mark in the chat, is on course for his first ever PSGL win. I'm not sure he's got any wins in F4, but you know, he's new to the site. He's quite young, I believe. Yeah. So it'd be a great way, you know, to continue his career and good for his confidence if he can take this win.
No, it'd be really great for him. He's a really quick driver in F4, so hopefully he can keep it together and just stay away from another penalty.
Yeah, I think he just needs to take it easy. He's got the gap. But yeah, looking at the interval gaps, this is Oogie and AMS in DRS range for each other at the moment. yeah, I believe, yeah, from some sort of flying from some sort of relation to Chicken Nose, I think. Don't know if he's his uncle, I think. I'm sure he'll let us know in the chat, but we've got a question in. So, Ewan, can you take a run through the most experienced drivers of the grid? I know you know a thing or two about experience.
But yeah, well, thank you to whoever put that question in the chat here today. We'll just speak about a couple of the most experienced drivers on the grid as we ride on board with Ugi Azim. Joliani Manu, a very experienced driver. He's been around for many seasons and he's using all of his experience to stay in this race today, isn't he, Big C? But another man who's really experienced is Duofin. As far as I can remember, the first time I joined this site, I just remember Duofin's name up in lights. He used to win races, he used to win titles, he used to get on the podium. Times are different for him now, but credit to him because he's using all of his experience today to keep going, and he's on for another point in P9, and obviously Mr. Grumpy, as we all know, is the most experienced Fixie, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
I can't say any more.
Grumpy's just part of the furniture, you know. If you're with PSGL, Grumpy's there. He's always there. He's a great man. I know, you know, a legend of the site. So a lot of respect for these drivers, and obviously the new drivers. You know, one day they'll be the experienced drivers.
Yes, there will be, but over my dead body, here we go. Ugi Azim on Ashbest. He's really closing up now. He's on fresh
down the inside.
Here we go. Oh, Ash has got to take a defensive line here. Will he? Will he? Yes. No, not as defensive. A great defending. Takes the middle line, and that's something that I don't see drivers do enough. Take the middle line. And Ash really did well there. It's really hard to absolutely perfect that middle line, isn't it, Big C?
Yeah, it's very difficult. There's all sorts of lines. The carton line, the racing line. But anyway, moving on to the penultimate.
Offline.
Moving on to the penultimate lap. I mean, this is a great fight between these two. It's a shame, you know, if this was F1 2016, they'd be passing each other every lap, but, you know, the slipstream just isn't quite there at the moment, but hopefully we'll see some sort of action in these latter stages.
Yeah, we're hoping for something. Thank you to all the viewers once again for tuning in. We've still got a lap and a half to go. It's really battling up for P2. Ugi obviously is getting a little bit personal, isn't he, with Ashfest? He wanted to be in the title battle, but unfortunately his dreadful driving throughout the whole PSGL F1 campaign has meant that he's not been able to compete and sits in a lowly 9th or 8th in the standings. So he'll be looking to really show Ashfest that, you know what, I can do it as well. But at the moment, he's not doing anything, is he, Big C, in a far improved vehicle?
Yeah, I think you've summed it up perfectly and a little bit harsh perhaps, but I think, you know, Ashbest is just in a league of his own at the minute. I think Uki deserves respect, you know, for his driving today. I think he's had a good race, but really, in the Renault, he should be ahead. He should be ahead.
I do agree with you there, but you know what? Disappointments will always disappoint. At the moment, we've got one lap to go, and Chicken Owens is going to be just one lap away from winning his first race as Uncle Flying Throne watches on. Is that the wrong one? No,
it is. It's not Frisso, it's Throne. I'm pretty sure. He's got what? What's
he's gone off. Really looking to pick up the rubber, looking to make sure he's got enough weight on that car as he crosses the line to avoid getting a penalty. I think the grid order is going to finish as it does, but there will be penalties which will decide the outcome as well. I don't think Chicken's got that many, so he's got a good buffer here. He's just soaking it in here, isn't he, Big C?
Yeah, obviously the first. I think it is his first win. It's always an emotional time. Any win is a great feeling. I think Chicken Owens, he may be in the Ferrari, but you still got to put it together. You still got to put the lap times. You know, he went for an aggressive strategy, and I think it's worked out. On these soft tyres, he's been fantastic. Ultra softs, he didn't look quite as good, but I think, you know, he's shown some maturity today. He didn't get flustered.
Sorry, Bixie, just a quick word. How did you feel when you got your first PSGL win? It was around Suzuka. I remember it clearly, like it was yesterday. How we age.
Yeah, I mean, time flies, but yeah, I mean, it was a weight off the shoulders. You know, you work hard, you work all season, all those practice hours to finally put it together and to get that victory, especially on a track like Suzuka. You know, I think USA will go down as a modern classic. So, you know, the circuit of the Metas is a fantastic circuit to get your first win. Or get any win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Big C, and he's only got a few more corners to go. Flying frame in the pit garage, almost in tears. The proud uncle, Big C, take us to the line. This is a massive moment for the finger-licking good KFC man, Chicken Owns.
It is indeed in the Ferrari, Forza Chicken Owns. He wins at Kota. What a drive from Chicken Owns to take the win. But it's Ash Best, the championship leader in P2.
Oogie's got a puncture. Oogie's got a puncture. Dano's going to hit the podium. He's got a puncture on those red tyres. And I told you disappointments would disappoint. Oogie is in. Can he defend this against the inside? Oh, this is
Actually, Dano goes Dano to the line, but he's got a penalty. No. Oogie gets away with it. Oogie gets away with it.
Lucky man.
Lucky man indeed. So Dino gets P4, AMS in 5th, with Sophie P6, Brain in 7th, with the experienced Giuliano Manu down in 8th. A disappointment, I think, Joel, today.
Yeah, but it's still good points finish for him. As he breaks his win, Jofin, Big C, let's give him the airtime. He got a lot of airtime, didn't he, at the start of the race, did Jofin? One of the most experienced drivers on the site, looking to get one up on his teammate again around the circuit of the Americas. So good race for him in the Mercedes. Always good when you pick up points, isn't it, when you race, Big C?
Yeah, certainly I think Giro gets a reward for his efforts today. You know, it's been a tough race for the Mercedes pair, but P9 and P10, I think you've got to take it.
Yeah, Pamela Anderson reaches out of the pit wall. She congratulates Joe Finn, who crosses the line. It's a fantastic result for the Mercedes driver.
So yeah, beautiful chicken. Also Ash. So yeah, an exciting race. Quite a bit of action. You know, a smaller grid, but I thought we had a lot of good battles. We couldn't get them all, but yeah. Another great advert for the PlayStation Gaming Leagues.
Yeah, definitely. So on the podium today, who is it?
Chicken Owns, Ash Best and Oogie Azim with the champagne.
Yeah. Hooray! Game Freak asked the question. I know we should probably run down the order. Should there be an 11th and 12th team on the grid? Because are you happy with the 20 drivers in real life?
I think in real life, I like one or two more teams. But online on F1, certainly not. I want less. 16.
I agree with you there completely.
But a quick rundown of the order. Chicken Owns takes his first career victory on PSGL with an outstanding drive with 12 seconds time penalties. Ash Best, the championship leader, goes closer. He's within reach of the title now with P2. Oogie 3rd despite the puncture. Dino 4th. AMS 5th, with 6th being Sophie. Brain, Giuliano Manu, Jofin and JP Greenwood rounding out the top 10. But Ewan, I need to ask you, who's your driver of the day after that? A lot of good drives.
I think there was fantastic drives throughout the grid. Obviously Chicken Owns would be the main person after he started first on the grid. Dano did a great job from 13th on the grid to finish 4th, but my driver of the day, I think, for the reason that he got a great start and then lost a few positions but kept it in there, it has to be Joe Finn for me. I think he just did a fantastic drive, and you know what, I absolutely love racing that man, so I feel like we should give him the recognition he deserves because he finished a lap ahead of his teammate. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you are the unsung hero from today, as we are joined by the 3rd place man Oogie Azim. So hello to Oogie. Hopefully we can speak to Ash and Chicken. I'm not friends with Chicken Owns, so if someone can suggest
yeah, I'll invite him. I know it's going to be an emotional moment for Chicken on his first PSGL win.
Yeah, and I'll let you lead the questions with everyone.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah. I can always tie up any loose ends if there are any, but I doubt it. So we'll just wait for Ash and Chicken Owns.
Yeah, we'll continue waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, we might as well just start with Oogie. Oh, there he is, Chicken Owns.
No, we won't start with Oogie. We'll start with the race winner, the F4 hero. It's Chicken Owns, your first PSGL win. How do you feel? How do you feel? Well, you must be tapping into the KFC in the background. But we'll give him a moment to collect himself.
Lost for words.
Shall we move on? Well, it was a breathless performance, so who would blame him? So shall we move on to Ash Best in P2? We'll come back to Chicken. Ash. Thoughts?
Thoughts. Well, happy that I'm extending my lead in the championship. So great thoughts. Had a fun battle with Oogie. I may have made a cheeky dive bomb on Oogie, but that was because I was running third gear through the penultimate corner for twice. Completely by accident, and just I did that unconsciously, and I lost so much time. So I was not going to deal with that. I wouldn't mind losing the position to Oogie, but I'm not going to lose it over some sort of a stupid mistake like that. So yeah, I kind of was really pissed because I lost the position of that. So I made a massive dive bomb. Was a bit aggressive there, but yeah, the race went well. Yeah.
And we'd just like to apologise for our viewers for some obscene language in the background. We do apologise for that. Big C, you got any questions for Ash?
Yeah, Ash, obviously you're leading the F1 title, but what would the FP title mean to you if you win it?
I mean, it would be amazing. Like, I mean, of course, I'm rating F1 and FP, so if I get double tie, it's amazing. If I only get FP, still great. Because, like, looking at what I went through, being McLaren for Belgium and Italy, and many other races, I'll be really, really happy.
Alright, thank you Ash for your words, and moving on to Oogie, I think.
Shall we see if Chicken's back? Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
Chicken? Yeah, okay. How do you feel? Your first PlayStation GL win, your uncle flying from watching in, he's got tears in the pit lane. This must be an emotional moment for you. It seems like you've been threatening to win a race for a while, so well done.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's the first race where I've been relaxed for the full race and not had any challenges really. It was pretty easy. It was a pretty easy race after the battle with Ash. I just had to stay calm and finish the job.
Okay, and how much support has your uncle Flying Throne given you throughout, you know, some of the racing tips that he's picked up over the years? So he must be really proud of you today. So any words for your uncle watching in today?
Yeah, huge thanks to my uncle. He got me into this game anyway, so yeah, and he's helped me get a lot faster.
Oh, that's nice. Big C, any words for Chicken?
Yeah, just a quick one. Obviously, you know, he's fairly new to league racing. You know, what is the ultimate aim for you in PlayStation GL? Like, what do you want to achieve, and what do you hope to achieve while you're here?
I just want to get as quick as I possibly can, get in the highest league possible, and do the best I can, really.
That's good to hear. So yeah, moving on to Oogie Azine and third place, Aaron.
Yeah, Oogie, you got that podium, which is good. But I think you struggled a lot throughout that race to really make that move and stick on Ash Best. Did you just show a bit too much respect for him? You left your legs wide open when he made that overtake on you, so could you have done a bit better?
I thought I closed the door. He sort of shoved me wide, but it's all good. I didn't want to take it too aggressive against Ash because he's fighting for the championship and I'm a bit down. So I enjoyed the battle, but lucky to keep the podium in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw you run out of fuel at the end. Like,
no, it was a flat tire. It was a flat tire.
Okay.
For once, I got the flat.
And Oogie, do you think that flat tyre is kind of symbolic of how your PSGL F1 season has gone as a whole? Because we expect so much, but we get so little. And how do you feel when something like that happens on the final lap?
I think very little about it, yes. But it was like I still enjoy the racing, so as long as that happens, I'll keep showing up and giving it my all.
Okay, Big C, any words for Oogie?
I think you've grilled him enough, Aaron. I don't think there's a need for any more from me.
I've got one more word for Oogie. Any words for our viewers in South Asia who may have tuned in today?
I think they might be asleep, but yeah. बहुत शुक्रिया अगर आप देख रहे हैं.
Thank you, Hugo.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks for the top three. Shignomes, Ash Best, who's looked set to win another title, and obviously Oogie on the podium. We might be back next week, we might not be, but we'll see. So, thanks for watching as always, and Chunga. Thank you.